this podcast, we're looking to see what tips God has given us concerning how to live life well. Now, I don't know if you've noticed it, but our society has become very divisive, which leads us to the topic for this episode. We're going to look at anger, specifically what God has to say about anger. And in the Bible it says, "Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." Anger, apparently, is not a character trait that God wants us to have or develop. But in today's world, anger and hatred have become an accepted, sometimes even celebrated part of our lives. Some people have made a career out of being angry. Now, there was a time, I have to admit it was a long time ago, that children were taught, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Trust me, those days are long gone. Everyone, it seems, is angry about something or someone. We live in a world where anger fills up a lot of our day. Now, just a few months ago, someone posted a photo of a college student being physically attacked on campus because of his political views. In the comments of the Facebook page where that picture was posted, one reader wrote, "I hope that kid in your page dies." Our so-called news outlets spew anger and hatred, in some cases on a 24/7 basis. Our politicians seem unable to complete a thought without expressing anger against someone or some idea they disagree with. Now, some blame this condition on social media, and certainly social media plays a role. Not only do we feel the anger, for some reason we believe it's important to share the anger. A 16-year-old boy who only had a few weeks to live asked the Make-A-Wish Foundation to arrange for him to talk with the governor of his state because he was pro-life and he wanted to encourage the governor to take actions to support that view. These are some of the comments made about him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. "You aren't dead yet? God, do your job." Or, "Good riddance. Cancer is giving your mom a late-term abortion. LMAO. Laughing my off." We say vicious things about others, but for some reason, in today's world, that brings us likes and follows, and that makes us feel good, so we keep doing it. We not only say vicious things, we post and repost vicious things. We tweet and retweet vicious things. Anger has become a valued, a praised, an admired trait for many. But what does God think of it? Now, Jesus gave a very clear teaching about anger in the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said to those of old, 'You shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to the hell of fire." Now think about it. Being angry at someone, insulting someone, calling someone a fool are actions condemned by God, and they have some pretty significant consequences. Now, if we want to live life well, we must remove anger from our lives. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it pretty easy to get angry at other people. It doesn't even take a hot political button to push to set me off. I can get angry just driving across town. A slow driver in front of me makes me miss a traffic signal. And I've been known to call that driver names, out of their hearing, of course, because I'm not into confrontation. But I've even used the term that Jesus said makes me liable to the hell of fire. Now remember the point of this podcast. We're trying to follow God's instructions on how to live life well. Consider the last couple of weeks of your life. Were you angry at someone? I don't care if it was in person, on the road, or in your social media. Did you get angry at someone in the last 2 weeks? Did you insult someone? Again, it may have been on social media. It might have been at work, or it might have been under your breath to a coworker. Did you insult someone in the last 2 weeks? Did you call someone a fool? Now think about it. In the last 2 weeks, did you refer to someone else as a fool? You need to remember, this anger thing is a serious matter to God. God wants you to live life well. So here's the challenge. Can you go through an entire week without feeling or expressing anger towards another person? Can you go through a week without saying an insulting comment about someone else? Can you go through a week without calling someone a fool? Can you do it? Make that your goal. For the next 7 days, don't allow yourself to express anger towards another person. Instead, choose to follow this tip from God on how to live life well.